The Los Angeles Chargers found their spark in the first 2 days of training camp, and the man behind it went undrafted. Keaton Mitchell signed this spring after 3 quiet seasons in Baltimore, buried behind a workhorse legend and a torn knee. Now he tears past defenders at the bolt while Justin Herbert drops bombs over the top. 6.3 yards per carry sits on his resume, the second best mark in football over 3 seasons. A rookie receiver keeps stealing headlines beside him, a burner nobody expected on day one, and the coaches refuse to stop talking about him. New offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel arrived from Miami, where he built the #1 total offense in the league in 2023. He inherits a quarterback with a cannon and a scheme designed to get the ball out in under 2 seconds. General Manager Joe Hortiz rebuilt the interior of the line with 1 veteran signing and 1 second-round pick, repairing the exact weakness opponents attacked all last season. Both premier tackles, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, walked back onto the field healthy. The pieces around Herbert look sharper than ever, and the biggest fix hides up front. The defense carries a heavier question. Jesse Minter left for the head coaching job in Baltimore after turning this unit into one of the stingiest in football, and a first-time play caller now holds the keys. Chris O'Leary inherits a loaded front, from veteran Khalil Mack to breakout edge rusher Tuli Tuipulotu, who wants a long-term deal before he takes another snap. 2 straight seasons have ended the same brutal way, a wild card loss and a quiet flight home. This roster looks built to change the ending. The AFC West still runs through Kansas City. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Chargers and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. Justin Herbert needed 2 days of camp to look at home in this offense. Reporters watched him hit Quentin Johnston on an in-breaker, fire a strike to Trey Harris, then drop a timed ball to Ladd McConkey on 3 straight snaps. Everything landed on rhythm. Mike McDaniel spent the spring rebuilding the footwork, pulling the ball from Herbert's hands until the quick drop turned into muscle memory. The goal reads simple: catch, plant, throw, and let a playmaker run into open grass and rack up yards after the catch. The fit runs deeper than timing. McDaniel spent 4 seasons in Miami, squeezing an offense through a quarterback with a quick release and a limited arm. Herbert brings the opposite gift: a cannon able to reach any blade of grass on the field. Defenses figured out the Dolphins over time and shrank the field. With Herbert, McDaniel gains a second act, a version of the scheme built to attack the deep middle and the boundary at once. The coordinator told reporters his aim is pushing Herbert to the next level of his career. The stakes sit right there. Herbert earned an MVP vote last season while playing behind a broken line, the most pressured quarterback in the league by the back half of the year. He carried an offense with duct tape and willpower. Now he gets a top offensive mind, a healthy line, and a room of weapons. The talent enhancer no longer has to be the only source of magic. The one variable still hanging over the whole plan is the wall in front of him. The other side of the ball opens a real mystery. Jesse Minter turned the Chargers into a top defense in 2 seasons, then took the head coaching job with the Baltimore Ravens. Chris O'Leary steps in with 1 year of coordinator experience, earned at Western Michigan, where his group went 10-4 and won a first-ever conference title. He spent a season here as the safeties coach when this unit finished first in points allowed. The scheme stays familiar. The pressure on a first-time NFL play caller does not. The talent gives him a soft landing. Khalil Mack returned on another 1-year deal worth $18 million, a Pro Bowl force even deep into his 30s. Tuli Tuipulotu exploded for 13 sacks and 75 pressures in his 3rd season, his first trip to the Pro Bowl. Rookie first-round edge Akeem Mesidor arrives from Miami, with 12.5 sacks in his final college season and one of the best pass rush grades in the class. Pair those 3 with Dalvin Tomlinson inside, and the front looks nasty. The back 7 holds the questions. Derwin James signed an extension and roams the slot like a chess piece, part safety, part corner, part enforcer. Young corners kept this pass defense near the top for 2 years, while the roster looked thin on paper. O'Leary wants the line spread wider to create chaos in the backfield, a small twist on the Minter blueprint. Keep the unit near the top, and the Chargers own a January formula. The offense, though, hides a weapon the last staff refused to use. Here sits the stat nobody wants to admit. Last season, the Chargers threw to their running backs like the option did not exist. Omarion Hampton, the first-round rookie, logged an average target depth of negative 1.6 yards, one of the lowest marks in the league among backs with 30 catches. The screen game vanished. The wheel routes vanished. A quarterback with a rocket arm handed off and moved on. Mike McDaniel built his name doing the opposite. In Miami, he turned Devon Chain into a receiving nightmare, a back who ripped defenses through the air as much as the ground. Enter Keaton Mitchell, the undrafted burner from East Carolina, who ran a 4.37 40 and averaged 6.3 yards per carry across 3 seasons in Baltimore. He caught 19 balls for 184 yards, even while stuck behind Derrick Henry. Picture him on a wheel route with a linebacker in chase. No contest. McDaniel covets this exact profile, a back who forces a defense to defend all 11 personnel from sideline to sideline. The video already leaked from camp. Justin Herbert floated a ball down the sideline, and Mitchell ran under it, a step ahead of the coverage. Fans forgot the element existed. Omarion Hampton wears down a defense between the tackles, while Mitchell stretches it sideways and vertically, thunder and speed in the same backfield. Kimani Vidal waits behind them, a practice squad call-up, who became the lead back down the stretch last year. The room runs 3 deep with juice, and the loudest rookie in camp has not touched the backfield at all. The 2026 draft class explains the buzz. The Chargers opened with Akeem Messidor in the first round, then traded down and grabbed Jake Slaughter, a Florida center with elite athletic testing, in the second. Day 3 brought the reveal fans keep chattering about. Brennan Thompson, the rookie receiver out of Mississippi State, ran a 4.26 40, a 100th percentile number at his position. He caught 57 passes for 1,054 yards last fall. Thompson answers the hook. He announced himself on day 1 of camp, pulled first-team reps, and drew praise from Herbert in press conference after press conference. He hauled in a deep crosser on the social feed and nearly ran under a 50-yard bomb the same afternoon. His speed reads as world-class, and unlike past track stars, he wins after the catch and runs a full route tree. Physical corners at the line remain his one real test. Mike McDaniel loves motion, and motion keeps hands off a burner. The trenches host the fiercest battle. Kayode Awosika leads the left guard race, with Jake Slaughter and Trevor Penning rotating in as the pads prepare to come on. Right guard belongs to Cole Strange, a former first-round pick reborn under this staff. Fourth-round tackle Travis Burke brings a 6'9" frame off the edge. Genesis Smith, the ball-hawking rookie safety from Arizona, keeps flashing coverage instincts while the coaches wait to grade his tackling. Depth like this decides January, and January is exactly where this roster keeps getting stopped. 2 straight seasons have ended in the wild card round, both by more than 1 score. Last January, the Chargers managed 3 points in a 16-3 loss at New England. Under the old staff, the offense scored 1 touchdown across 2 playoff trips. The wound is fresh, and the division offers no mercy. Herbert has yet to win a playoff game in his career, and the noise around the gap grows louder every winter. The AFC West still belongs to Kansas City until someone rips it away. The math looks kinder than the reputation. The Chargers finished 11-6 and second in the West a year ago, and they did it with a bottom 3 offensive line and Herbert running for his life. Denver leans on a young quarterback and a fierce defense. The Raiders reset again under a new regime. Kansas City reloads every winter, yet the gap between the Chiefs and the field narrowed last season. A healthy Chargers line flips several of those close losses. The defense gives them a puncher's chance every week. This unit finished near the top of the league in points allowed 2 years running, and O'Leary inherits nearly every core piece. Derwin James anchors the back end. Tuli Tuipulotu and Khalil Mack bend the edge. The formula stops good offenses and keeps games close into the fourth quarter. The Chargers do not need a miracle to win the West. They need the one thing they lacked last year, and the whole rebuild points at a single position. Here is the fix hiding in plain sight. Last season, the Chargers trotted out the most offensive line combinations in the league, a rotating cast of backups after both tackles went down. They ranked bottom 3 in run blocking and bottom 3 in pass blocking. Herbert took the second most sacks in football and faced pressure on a brutal share of his drops. The talent was never the problem. The wall in front of him was. General Manager Joe Hortiz attacked it head on. He signed veteran center Tyler Biadasz to steady the interior, a massive upgrade over last year's group. He drafted Jake Slaughter, a center by trade, with the best athletic testing scouts had seen from an interior lineman in years, and slid him to guard. Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, two premier tackles, returned from injury to bookend the front. Add Cole Strange at right guard, and the unit went from patchwork to genuine strength. The ripple touches everything. A line able to hold 4 rushers forces defenses to blitz, and a blitz opens the quick game Mike McDaniel lives on. The run game wakes up for Omarion Hampton and Keaton Mitchell. The screens return, and play action gains teeth once the run game earns respect. Herbert gains the half second he never had, and half a second turns a good quarterback into a superstar. Fix the trenches, and the whole offense breathes. The only story left is how far this group climbs. Add it all up, and the ceiling looks enormous. A top 5 defense returns nearly intact. A top offensive mind takes over a quarterback in his prime. The offensive line went from liability to backbone. The backfield added the fastest weapon in the building, and a rookie receiver runs a 4.26. Health was the only thing missing last year, and health arrived in July. Here's the call. The Chargers win 12 games, take second in a loaded West at worst, and finally break the wildcard curse with a January road win. Justin Herbert lands in the MVP conversation behind a clean pocket for the first time in his career. Push back in the comments if you disagree, because plenty of people still sleep on this roster. Drop your record prediction below and subscribe before the next breakdown drops, since the depth chart shifts every single practice. The pieces fit in a way they never have under Jim Harbaugh. 2 years of building the trenches and the secondary set the table. And now, a pair of elite coordinators bring the scheme to match the talent. The AFC West runs through Kansas City, yet the Chargers own the roster to end the reign this winter. Stack a healthy line on a top defense and a genius play caller, and January starts to look a whole lot friendlier. The team nobody wants to draw in the playoffs plays in Los Angeles,